to Louisiana Heart Beats. I'm Sudie Landry, your host, and this is going to be a very special time for me. Today I have as my guest Justin Calais, a young, first-time author. Welcome to the show, Justin.
Thank you.
Justin is also a member of the Writers Guild of Acadiana, and he has been working on and being encouraged, and he has just released his new book. And as you can see on the screen, it's called Society. How do you say that?
Society.
Society. And so he did a play on spelling. And so right away, I'm going to, first of all, I want him to tell you who he is. And so I'm going to kind of ask you some questions. And later, we're going to come back and we're going to discuss this book.
Okay.
Okay? So right now, I just want to know, who is Justin Calais? Where are you from?
Well, I was born in Burbridge, Louisiana. That's why I currently reside with my family, where most of my writings take place.
Okay, now you live in Burbridge.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you start writing? I'm talking about anything, not just this published material. When did you start writing?
Apparently, when my mom tells me, I started writing in kindergarten.
Well, I thought that would be interesting to find out. So what did you write?
I wrote a short story. I think it was, I don't remember exactly what, that was a long time ago.
It doesn't matter.
And I actually won an award for it, a national award.
See what I mean? I just never know who special is going to be sitting at my table. You started a lot sooner than I did. But writing a play and winning in kindergarten.
Yes.
Well, so you had that talent. Did you realize that you liked doing that? And maybe in the future you were just in kindergarten, but what else did you do with that? Or was that the only thing that you did do at that time?
At that time, that was the only thing I did. And
5 years old? That was a lot.
I read a lot of comic books. My mom started me early with reading. She'd read me, you know how most parents want to start the little baby books. No, she would read me books above my grade level, even as a young child. So I really developed that love for reading and writing. I didn't start loving writing really until I was in college. But as a kid, I would always make up my own characters of X-Men and Power Rangers and stuff like that. And I never really wrote a story unless I was told to write it in school. And then when I got to college, I was majoring in French. And
okay.
I wasn't doing too well.
Okay.
And so I took a short story fiction writing class, and that's when I kind of rekindled that love for writing that I had as a kid.
So about how long ago did you start this in college? About how many years?
About 2011.
2011. So you're a little bit older than you look. You look so young. Well, listen, so why did you pretty well answered why you chose science fiction as the genre of your published book that's on the screen. Now I understand. Your mother chose not to read kindergarten books or first stages of cartoon illustrated books, but the actual action comic books.
Yeah, well,
You were really interested at that time, or you just kind of lived with it?
I was really interested in X-Men. That cartoon had just came out when I was young, and as a kid, I didn't know it was a comic book that had a long history. So I would buy the comic books because, but I couldn't read it. I could only look at the pictures. So my mom would read me the comic books, and she would read me other books, mainly sci-fi kind of stuff. That was what I was interested in, the whole superheroes. And
well, obviously she was interested in it too, because I personally don't know many mothers who would read that, and yet she was thinking way out of the box. She didn't even know at that time that possibly you would become a writer of science fiction. Isn't that amazing? Well, I got a glimpse into your personal family this past weekend. And your first, I understand, author signing.
Yes,
and your family was there. And boy, you have a wonderful support system. They were all out there to support you. I mean, it was like party time. Here we are.
Yes, ma'am.
You were really, really blessed to have that family unit that seems to, support you. And your sister, Kristen, I always pick at her because she stays in the background, but she's there supporting you too, even at the Writers Guild. She'll be in the back. So I do it out of love, Kristen, is because I know that you're inspiring to him also to get him and be with him wherever he's going. Okay, Justin, So, when did you actually think about the possibility of writing a book seriously? When did you get serious and think, oh, I'm going to write a book?
Well,
Any particular point in time?
in 2013, I was actually diagnosed with schizophrenia, and
Not really, really?
yes, I was.
You're doing great.
Thank you. I was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and that caused me to drop out of college, and I was really in a down place, and so I started writing again. I
Wow.
wrote a lot, and my first idea was to go with a book of short stories,
Okay.
and I wrote like a short story every day, and in like a month I had 30 short stories, and that really kept me in a good place. It brought me up. It gave me something to do, and I kind of just put some of the short stories online for people to read. I would hand them out, and I got some good feedback. And so I thought, well, why not try to write a whole book? And so that's what I started working on Society.
Well, you know what? I'm amazed. I'm actually blessed to actually have you at this table sharing the part about not only are you a gifted writer, obviously, but you also have overcome many other obstacles in your health history. And I'm saying that with admiration because you're the second author that I've actually met and been part of being there to congratulate them on their first book that is actually dealing or was dealing with the same type of, I don't even like to call it illness, just a health issue, just to say. But you are definitely abounding and in everything that you're doing, and this is good. And I have found out, Justin, that people who are diagnosed with what you have or had
Yes, ma'am.
makes the best science fiction books ever. I didn't even get a chance to start reading your book. I kind of glanced through it. I knew I wanted to read it, but on the back of that book,
Yes, ma'am.
Society, why did you choose this cover? Why? Why did you put the X in the middle?
So I have to do a little spoiler alert. The X represents kind of like the unknown, like
Okay.
in algebra you solve for X,
Yeah.
and so it's also a tribute to I love X-Men. So X-Men always incorporate the X.
Well, that's pretty well what I about figured out after you said that. Well, I want you to basically share with the audience what's on the back of your book. On the back of your book talks about you and your mom, just enough to get people without giving that book away.
Yes.
Tell us what it's really about. What is the main story of it? It starts off with what?
The story is about a young man, and he's from a family who has superpowers, and he dies at the hands of a cop through police brutality. So the book is about the family's life after that happens and how things change and how they view society. That's why I call it society. Their view of society kind of changes, and that's why on the book I have the eye because the son, he was a psychic, so I put the eye as in a vision.
Okay.
And then you have the DNA strands that
I got
represent
that,
the
yeah.
superhuman gene. And then at the bottom is a bullet, the bullet that killed
I missed that one. Okay, I got it.
the bullet that killed the son.
Wow. Well, without doing a big spoiler, I read the back of the book, and that's what caught my interest. I was going to read it
Yes.
anyway to support you. And what's on the back of the book is amazing. That right there needs to be shared. What's on the back of the book, every time someone's interested, that would catch them really good. I think it's a great plot. From what I literally, without reading the book, what I read on the back of the book, I think it's a great plot. I love the reason that you're doing the book, which is what inspired you to do the book. And it can deal with everyday life like right now, but you take it further
Yes.
and you take it into the unknown. And the plot, from what I see from the back of the book, is amazing. I really believe you're going to be very successful. And this
Thank
is
you.
your first book.
Yes, this is my first book. So
So-
excited to publish it.
Now we know. We write it, we publish it. So the big step is getting out there and sharing it with any and everyone and getting book signings and telling people you're good at Facebook. You
Oh, yeah.
do. You're going to be great at Facebook. You plug in all the time. So I look forward to taking this show, taking your show, and putting it on AOC, and then YouTube, and then Facebook. And meanwhile, you can share it with everyone you know and do whatever you want. And that's why we're grateful for Acadiana Open Channel.
Yes.
It's a free platform. So I'm excited that I told you I was going to get you on, but we
Yes.
were waiting for this book to come
Yes,
out.
yes.
So you chose sci-fi. You've shared why science fiction is so important and how young of an age that got your interest in X-Men
Yes.
is very obviously what inspired you. When did you, when did you start writing this book, and how long did it take you?
Started planning the book in 2013.
Okay.
It went through a couple phases. Then I officially started writing it in 2015. And I was done with it by 2016. And at the end of 2016, that's when I picked up a publisher.
All right. That was not an easy step either, was it?
No.
I know there were some disappointing and sometimes discouraging things writers go through,
Yes.
but you didn't give up. You
No.
didn't give up.
Like I said, we said, I'm good with Facebook, and that's how I found my publisher.
That's it. That's awesome. That's amazing. See, all these different free resources are amazing too. Okay, so you published the date, and we already got to that 2017. Okay, what was your reason for writing this book? Was there a message that you wanted to incorporate in it, or was it just a story that you created in your mind?
Well, it started, I wanted to do a comic book, but I can't draw.
Okay, yeah. That's
So-
true. No comic because you can't. That's good that you did not do that.
I can't draw, so it started as a comic book idea about how cops would handle people with superhuman abilities. And then it kind of worked its way to, I focused on the family. And so I just thought to myself, how would a mother who has superhuman abilities deal with the death of her son by a cop? And that really stemmed from all the things that's going on with us right now.
That's right.
How police have been under scrutiny
That's right.
for how they treat certain suspects.
Well, on this show, you're able to say exactly what you want to say, and I can tell you the back of your book says it very well, and that is a timely topic. It's happening, and just to take it into the story itself and use it in a different twist and tell the truth at the same time, but tweak the curiosity of the unknown, But what if? Boy, those what ifs can create some great stories. So, how are you operating? Are you creating any others? Is there anything in the making for a second book idea, even if it's not actually in the publishing steps?
Yeah, right now I'm writing the second book. It's going to be part of a trilogy.
Okay.
And the second book will focus more on the family than the first book. I got the police brutality part out, and so now the second book is going to be about now. It's been a few months. The mom has got out her aggression, or so we think. That what
So we
if?
think. Okay.
The brother is doing his own thing.
So it's going to turn into more than one book, and it's going to pick up and
So-
update us and keep going.
Yes. And
Are you going to still use the same publisher?
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask you this without, you don't have to name, but if you want to, that's fine. You said what you had to say on Facebook, and then somebody responded, or did you actually send out a note that you were looking for a publisher? How did you end up getting your publisher? Share with the new authors out there, once you've written, what you had to do to get this book published. Stepwise, how did you get, who is it?
Well, after I wrote the book, I kind of just on Facebook shared some of my short stories that I had
Okay.
on different websites, blogs. I had short stories, and I would share them. And then I would talk about my book. I'm like, oh, I'm writing a book. I'm a few chapters in. I'm done. I'm doing this revision. And to kind of backtrack, met a guy in one of the writing groups in Facebook. Facebook connects a lot of people.
Yeah, it does.
So it's a writing group of people from all over the world, and we had connected. And then he's like, "Oh, I have a share in a publishing company here in Alabama," and so he said, "Send me the book, and I'll read it. And if I like what I see, I'll pass it on to the owner of the publishing company." And so the owner of the publishing company got a hold of the book, and he liked what he read.
Wow.
So they offered me a contract for a trilogy.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're definitely already on your way out as far as and up because of the fact that you've had great responses. Sounds like to me that not many authors get that great of a response right away. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I appreciate you sharing that because people out there that are, I was thinking about myself this morning. Okay, so I'll be publishing soon to completed. It's already been written many years ago, children books.
Mhm.
And I really hadn't really thought about it until I knew someone needed to have a children's book. So I said, okay, let's take my stories. We're going to edit it way down, and we're going to get to the 3 to 4 year old level. Then we're going to do a second story, a third story. The goal was just to create children books. Now, I said that to say this, is that I'm blessed to have a friend and a publisher locally.
Yes.
Okay. But through my first books that he published for me, I learned so much, Justin. Anybody can write a story. We all think our stories are the best.
Yes.
But when you connect with professionals who do this for a living, there are certain guidelines. Even children books has to ask certain questions. And so anyway, my friend went to recently, and I'm bringing this up, critique group. He decided he wanted to take my story, if it was okay with me, and take it to a critique group that he just found out about. I said, okay, you go, but I'm not going.
Mhm.
I mean, he's so gung-ho about being so particular. Me, I just want to write the story. Do whatever you want to do with it. But I'm realizing I'm blessed to have someone who's going to take it and do all the hard work.
Yes.
I just write, hey, let's make a deal. I'll just write, you edit, and we both get credit. I'm fine with that. My goal is to leave a legacy behind for my families. And this is children books and stories that I've made up. So anyway, I said that to say this, whenever I first started learning everything I could to share with the Writer's Guild, published authors, seasoned authors, people who want to be authors, I had to find out and learn there's a lot more to than just writing. So with you, you took the resource, you put it out there, you got responses. That is so important to keep encouraging people. And you never know, the person sitting next to you, which was what happened to me. I had no idea this person was a publisher. Okay, so it turned out, that somebody's going to hear you and never give up, and that's what I was sharing with you before the show. Even the book signings, not everybody's going to flock out there, but just be there. That one person that can connect you to the person you need to go through a door for. So with that said, congratulations on your actually success of getting this book recognized and already a trilogy in the making. Okay, now when it comes down to your books, okay, as we discussed earlier, okay, your email's up there on the monitor.
Yes.
Okay, do you have your books at this time placed anywhere else that's available that people can check out? Is it Barnes & Noble or is it Amazon.com? Do you have it? Your books, are you solely published your books yourself, self-published?
My books, you can find them online on Amazon. And
Okay.
I do have some books, physical copies with me. So if you can contact me at my email, or you can find me on Facebook, Justin Calais. Pretty easy to find. I'm the only.
You'll be able
really
to let
Justin
them know. Okay.
Calais.
So mainly, it's on Amazon.com. If anybody wants any more information, they can email you.
Yes.
And then you can go from there and let them know. The reason I like for people to put it out there, their email, is so that once the show is done, any guest that's on this show, Justin, even if you let me know in the future wherever you're going to be, whether I'm part of that or not, I turn around and as my part of helping you get the exposure, we'll put this video today on YouTube, okay, and I will say, hey, this author is now going to be at this certain event. So I'm always updating, and that's what's so wonderful about these videos being done here, and the awesomeness of, we have basically, we're going to be sharing all the time.
Yes.
So I thank you so much for coming in today. Now, okay, I wasn't too sure how much time we have left. Okay, we have 4 minutes left in the show. So let's backtrack and say, let's give credit right now to the people that inspired you, motivated you, encouraged you, supported you in getting, go finish, come on Justin, let's finish this book. Who inspired you? Some of the people you want to say thank you to while we're on camera.
Well, I definitely want to say thank you to my family, especially my mom and my dad and my sister. They all really push me. Like, they come to the events, they show up, they show their support. So I'm really grateful for them. I wanted to thank Brian Woods, who helped me get published, and ACA Books out of Alabama for giving me that chance to get my book out there.
That's right. Well, that's the most important people that you need to thank, because everybody does their little bit, their little part, sometimes big part. And I thank you, the mother, who read this 5-year-old or whatever younger, the X-Men comic book, was that the name of it?
X-Men.
The X-Men. Now, I had kids that read all that, but I never read them. And I do have a son that's in his early, mid-30s.
Yes.
And he definitely had all those comic books. And yeah, he would really take to this book. So I'm going to try to get my son to read it and see what he thinks about it. But it doesn't matter. It's still a good book, whether he likes it or not. But he is into the X-Men, or was many years ago. Okay, Justin, we have a few minutes left into the show. Okay, at this time, I just want to make a comment that at one event we had a special ebook seminar, mini workshop, whatever you want to call it, in Lafayette. And we had a wonderful speaker out there who was very outspoken, who gave people opinions when they asked, hey, what do you think about the title of this book? And she would honestly say what she had to say. Okay, then it'd say, her main goal was, and I think your book cover meets what she meant. This speaker said, the cover of your book, whatever it is, should automatically tell the story that you're getting ready to write. The only thing I remember was so many of her books, I mean, she was in the paranormal, and she had all kinds of, but her books, the picture, after I read the book, I knew had told the whole story. With your book, okay, that tells the story. You just shared the reason for the X in the middle. But right there is going to say there's something not normal, basically your everyday spin. This is definitely going to be science fiction. Yes. So your book is very good, and you definitely use that. Well, so I said that to say this in the closing, we're going to be closing, is that I think she tried to talk you out of using the X, and you told her it was too late.
Yeah, she didn't think, she pronounced it Sockside.
I know, which I did in the beginning, which is wrong. Okay.
With language, we're flexible. We kind of change things.
But I wanted to say that she did not know how far you were into the book,
yes.
And she was very outspoken. Just because she said stuff didn't mean it was law. But anyway, I was laughing because your book does say exactly what you wrote about. Well, we're at the end of the show already, and I want to thank Katie and Deanna. I would love for you to be able to keep track of this young man, Justin Calais, who is the first-time release author of science fiction, and his book is called Society, and he is from our local area, Fort Ridge, Louisiana, and he plans on doing a trilogy to follow up this book. But if you're interested, maybe check out the email that he had on there previously. So go ahead and say it verbally since it's not up there.
TuscanyCalais@gmail.com.
And that's spelled T-U-S?
TuscanyCalais@gmail.com.
Okay, so now you've heard it. Justin Calais releasing his first book. It has been released. He will be at many book signings in the future. And at this time, I want to say congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you
for coming on the show, and I look forward to being able to share this video with everybody else. Katie Ann, I want to thank you for watching. At this time, we are still airing, of course, as you know, every Monday night at 9 p.m. Now, sometimes we are adjusting and sometimes go to a different time. But the most important thing is this platform is to talk about you, your dreams, your visions, your successes, your giving back to the community, or just whatever you have a passion for. If you would like to be on the show, then you can always email me, praisemusicpro@cox.net. And you will be able to see more of Justin Calais in the future, or perhaps it just might be you. So, thank you for watching, and remember, keep watching, keep tuning in. You may be the next guest on this show. Katie Anna, Open Channel, thank you very much.